The 49ers quarterback room seems to be complete, and does this mean no Zach Wilson trade? I certainly hope so. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Thanks for hanging out here with us. Let's talk about the latest addition to this Niners roster, but first, make sure you subscribe so that you stay in the know with every single move that the Niners make right here on the largest independently run Niners channel right here on YouTube that covers this team on a daily basis year-round. So according to Mike McCartney of Vayner Sports, backup quarterback Josh Dobbs is signing a one-year deal with San Francisco, and this is a pretty solid deal for him as well as the team. This includes $2.25 million in fully guaranteed money at signing, and Josh Dobbs also has $750,000 coming his way in playtime incentives. If Brock Purdy were to get hurt, if Josh Dobbs actually beats out Brandon Allen, he plays well, and he wins games. That's how the incentive-laden language in those contracts usually plays out in professional sports. And this is a move for the Niners as we kick off week 2 of free agency here that is going to be celebrated by some smart football people, by people who know ball, because Josh Dobbs, while he's a well-traveled backup quarterback and veteran in this league, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's a respected backup and veteran who at Tennessee studied aerospace engineering. That's what his major was. So he's definitely smarter than me. He's smarter than a lot of us. And in reality, to be serious here, when you have a major like that, it allows you to process information very quickly. It allows you to pick up the playbook in a very fast manner. And I firmly believe that's a reason, Josh Dobbs' intelligence, why he's been able to step in when he's been thrust into some difficult situations. Last minute with the Tennessee Titans, last year with the Minnesota Vikings, when he's stepping in for injured starters, and he's been able to have a lot of success in a blimp. And this past year, after he started the year with the Arizona Cardinals, he was the starter until Kyler Murray came back. He was the QB1 for the Cardinals. The Vikings, led by Kevin O'Connell, who I think is an underrated, really good, up-and-coming offensive mind in this league, they traded for Josh Dobbs after Kirk Cousins got hurt. And Josh Dobbs, in a game on the road, in Atlanta, tough place to play, when the Vikings were down, stepped in without barely knowing the playbook at all. Kevin O'Connell was talking to him, telling him what to read, giving him the play calls, what to expect from the offensive scheme, as well as the defense, right up until that 15-second mark until the play is called. And Josh Dobbs came in, and he absolutely balled out. Like, think about how difficult that is to do with no practice, no game planning, and he lifted Minnesota to a victory, and because of that on the sideline, his teammates were just celebrating with him. And that's part of what I'm talking about with his teammates in multiple stops across the NFL really liking this guy. And this is going to make the Niners quarterback room consist of Brock Purdy as your QB1, Brandon Allen and Josh Dobbs will duke it out to be the backup quarterback. The Niners oftentimes like to have a fourth camp arm, so that could be an undrafted free agent or a late-round rookie. And that's what I think is going to be the quarterback room for the Niners here in 2024, and I'd rather have that quarterback room, Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen, than Zach Wilson. Not even kidding. And I know Zach Wilson, good athlete, good mobility, solid arm, but I'll take Purdy, Allen, and Dobbs over having the awkwardness and some of the drama that ensues with Zach Wilson being on this team. Now, Dobbs was a fourth-round pick out of Tennessee, where he had a really good career for the Volunteers. And in 2016, he authored one of the most wild comebacks in recent college football history, where Georgia marches down the field. They score a touchdown in the final seconds. And then Josh Dobbs in Tennessee, they get the ball back right around midfield, and he threw a Hail Mary. Improbable, epic, stunning, ridiculous, from about the 50-yard line to Jawan Jennings to beat 25th ranked Georgia. And that was the Hail Mary that was talked about and has been talked about for years among Tennessee fans. And now Josh Dobbs is going to be able to team up with Jawan Jennings with the San Francisco 49ers. Fourth round pick out of Tennessee in 2016, and he's with Pittsburgh up until 2019, or he was a draft pick in 2017, I guess would be the draft year correctly. His final college season came in 2016. So he's drafted by Pittsburgh, fourth round in 2017. He's there 2017 to 2019. Then with the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2019 as well. Pittsburgh Steelers 2020, 2021. With the Cleveland Browns in 2022. Detroit Lions wasn't on the active roster, but was signed by them in 2022 as well. And the Tennessee Titans, where he stepped in for an injured Ryan Tannehill and actually started a playoff game. Cleveland Browns in 2023. He was then traded to Arizona, where he played a little bit. More on that in a moment. And then traded again by the Cardinals to the Minnesota Vikings. He did not start his first game of his NFL career until that 2022 season, when he actually did step in well. Late notice. It was a late decision in the week by Mike Vrabel for him to go in there, part of the aerospace engineering type of brain that he has. And he stepped in, and I thought he played good football there too. And he's been in an okay spot when he's had to step in for short-term moments. So in spot start duty, he's played good ball. Anything that's really extending beyond that spot start type of time frame, I'm talking a start or two, that's when the league starts to catch up with him a little bit. But as far as his long-term sample size goes, all of last year, he played in 13 games, started 12 of them. 3-9 was his record. He threw 13 touchdowns, 10 picks. So he's definitely prone to turning the football over. He completed 62.8% of his passes. He had an interception percentage of 2.4. And his air yards per attempt all last year was 5.5. Yards per completion at 9.4. It was the same yards per completion with Arizona that it was with Minnesota. When he was with Arizona, bad football team, rebuilding. 1-7 to be specific, 62.8% on his passes. He was 62.9% with Minnesota. So he's right around that sub-63 percentile range. He threw 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. He can run it a little bit. He can offer some mobility and athleticism, play extension out of structure, and that's what he's going to be able to bring to the San Francisco 49ers offense here. So Josh Dobbs signing, and it's a pretty good deal for him. Pretty good deal on that 1-year deal in which he is getting $2.25 million in fully guaranteed money, and the Niners are only giving Brandon Allen a little bit more than $1 million. So you see the Niners thinking here. Sam Darnold, 1 year, up to $10 million with the Minnesota Vikings. San Francisco simply wasn't willing to pay that much for a backup quarterback like they did last year with Sam Darnold. It wasn't 1 year, 10, but it was pretty lofty, as they are this year, because they understand this is an expensive roster. They have some contracts they have to give out, contract extensions, improvements that need to be made on both sides of the ball, and they'd rather reallocate that money toward other positions of importance and not just the backup quarterback role. You also know what Brock Purdy is going to be able to give you. We now have a season-and-a-half long sample size of Purdy playing at a really high level, whereas last year you're going into 2023. One, you're not sure how the elbow is going to hold up. A lot of people thought he was going to be out into the year. He was ready for day one of training camp. Number two, was it a mirage what he was able to do as a rookie? Turns out he just might be a very damn good quarterback, and the best quarterback in the 2022 draft class up until this point, which is mind-boggling in a way. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll continue to have you covered right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Anytime breaking news happens, we're going to talk about it here on the show. Catch you soon right here on the Niners Report. Earlier videos up on the channel. Go check those out if you haven't already done that.